All right, guys, ladies, gents, today we are unboxing a new printer, and hopefully it goes okay. I probably should have found my knife. Ah, there it is, before I did all this. But let's go ahead and share this out really quick to some places. Okay. Everything looks all right. Hopefully audio is good. Let's just double check everything. Yep, the audio is good. All right, sweet. Okay, so we'll give it about 5 minutes, and we'll let some people roll in here, and yeah, kind of go from there. Yes, I know we're doing this a little earlier or later, however you want to put it. Usually, I do very late night streams because I work late at night. So, what's up, non-fam? But I figured, hey, today I got today off. I was going to do this a little bit earlier, but I'm like, yeah, let's do it around dinner time and see if we could get some more people in here and, you know, maybe get some more views or whatnot. So, yeah. But, yeah, new printer on the market. Hopefully this is good. We'll find out here. I have high hopes for it. Always when I'm asleep. Yeah. That's the problem is I do weird live streams and I never schedule them because my personal life schedule is completely different. And apparently I have to fix the coloring on this camera because this is a red shirt, not an orange. It's coming off as orange. So I thought I corrected it, but I guess not. So we'll have to adjust some stuff when we're done here. But yeah, for any of you guys new, if you're not on the Facebook platform, you can hit up the YouTube channel and go from there. What's up, DJ? What's up, Andrew? Andrew? I almost said Andrew. Andrew? Andrew! So is your name tag in the left corner? Yes. This is my name, Matt. I am the owner operator of Akuma Mods. So what's up, Joseph? How's it going? Yeah, so you guys may or may not know who I am. I tend to be around the community a lot. Pretty much if you have talked to anybody who's big in the community, you probably have heard my name spread around somewhere in some way, shape, or form. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, it is also orange. Yes, it is. So for those who are commenting on Facebook, if you look above the video, there is a link to click on StreamYards. And what that does is it allows StreamYards to show your name, which your name is posted over in this corner here of my screen. Because right now it just says Facebook user. I know who's posting because I have my Facebook open as well, just in case. But for anybody that's posting through the Facebook group, there's a link there. It's like facebook.com/StreamYards. And basically it just you're just allowing it to say, hey, I can display my name on there. If you don't, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. So, all right. So it's about 5 minutes in. Let's get this going. All right. So we got about 12 people. So, like I said, this is a new printer on the market. This is called the GK1. This is from a company that's brand new on the market called Uniformation. There's not really a lot of information on the market, but they did send me their printer to test out, as well as two 500, almost lost those, two 500 milliliter bottles of resin, so a liter of resin to test out and show off. So let's get in this. So as you can see, it says Team Lift here. It is kind of heavy. It's breakable, blah, blah, blah. It is packaged kind of differently than most packages. Usually it's just, flip up the top and call it a day. But this one actually has some outside packaging on it. So to keep it from, I guess, being too damaged, which is kind of nice. Not too many companies do that. So it's kind of nice to see that. Let's see if we can get this all in one shot. This is going to be fun taking this out, I can tell already. My wobbly table. All right, I think we're done with that for now. Let's put that back so we don't kill ourselves with it. All right, so we have some calibration paper. Basically, it's a sheet of paper with some small little cuts of paper. We have our power supply, which we're not going to use. We already got one rigged up for the time being. We have a box, I'm guessing power supply. Yep. Power supply is 24 volts at 6 amps. We have some gloves, some tweezers. We'll look at that in a quick second here. Looks like a fairly nice SD card. Or USB drive, not SD card. All right, let's try and get this out. This is going to be the fun part. We might have to put this on the floor here. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to be harder than I thought. They packaged this very well. So there's even some packaging on the inside here with some cardboard on each side. No, just on the one side. So I'm guessing that's the side that has the LCD on it. This is going to be the front of the printer, if I can get it out. Let's see if there's a way that we can get this out of here. It's just packed in very good. Slowly but surely. We'll get it. I swear. It's coming along. I probably could have done this a lot faster. Good. How are you, William? All right. There's the top part. And there's the entire printer right there. Let's see what else we got in here. We got some extra FET film. So that's always nice to have. Good to include. We'll have to check that that piece here. But I think this is a little over packaged in my opinion. But that's never a bad thing, because you don't want a unit like this breaking. So I am going to have to put this on the floor really quick, because this is a large unit to try and take out over my head or body weight. Ugh. And it is kind of heavy. Which printer is this? So this is called the GK1 from Uniformation. This is a 10-inch screen printer. The build volume is 220 by 130 by 245. So it's a pretty large printer. So it's So you guys have like a small printer that's like the longer orange here. That's your smaller printers. Then you have like medium printers like your Elegoo Saturn, your EPAX E10, Creality LD006, such as that. This is bigger than those printers. This is a 10-inch screen. So those have 8.9-inch screens. This has a 10.1. And to top it off, it's a 5K 10.1. So it is a monochrome 5K printer. So what's up, guys? Cut down the side of the box on the corner. I would normally, I would say yes, but I want to try and keep the box intact if I can. This is a heavy printer. And it's packaged very, very well, as you can see. All right. Wow. That's more work than this thing. Taking it out. Good Lord. All right. So let's see about taking this off. I know we're putting it upside down and probably shouldn't. It's fine. Whew. All right. Good Lordy. It is hefty. It is very, very big. So there is the printer. So now we have a ridiculous wrap around it, which is great, but not so great at the same time. Really need to get a better table. This is probably the best packaged printer I've ever had to deal with. Like this is packaged better than the frozen printers that I usually get. Good Lord. How much wrap did you guys use on this? It's definitely not going to have any issues with it. Good Lord. And there she be. Excuse me here. All right. You've had a resin printer delivered in a wooden crate. That's quite ridiculous. Okay, so here it is. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. That looks familiar. Well, yeah, it's the same design, just on a larger scale. So this is my tried and true WeBox 130. That is by far my favorite printer out of all of my printers, okay? This is about 2.5 years old. It's an RGB screen, and just what it contains inside of it makes it that much better than any of my other printers. Dimensional accuracy right out of the box. I don't have to deal with anything. I've had like maybe 2 failures out of the 2.5 years that I've been printing with it. And yeah, even though it's RGB screen and it takes 2 to 3 times as long to print, I will definitely go for that for design purposes if I need to print anything. So perhaps better than my stepdaughter's Christmas presents. Yeah, pretty crazy. So let's take a look at this and see. So same design, like I said, as the WeBox 130, just on a much larger scale. And this is literally a WeBox printer. This is the same printer. Now, the thing is I know that WeBox does not make a printer this size. They make one much bigger than this, called the 280, which I believe is 280 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. But it is the same exact design. This is identical to my WeBox 215, which you guys can't see. It's right out of view here. So if that's the case, this will probably end up replacing the 215. The 215 is huge. It's probably this wide. Okay, so it's almost double the size of this printer. But this printer is much easier to deal with. The 215 is more set inside. So it's a little more hard to handle. But everything is identical. You have the 600 gram to 1,000 gram or a liter. So it holds up to a liter of resin on the max, I guess you can call it. Yeah, so print finish remaining 500 grams. Need to refill 1,000 grams. So yeah, pretty much it is a WeBox printer, just kind of rebranded. Now, it's possible that somebody else makes these printers and WeBox brands them accordingly. So it is a single linear rail, but the thing that makes this different is it's a C channel. So while it is a singular rail, it still has the entire channel, the sides of it, okay, to keep it from wobbling in any way, shape, or form. That's one of the things that makes the WeBox printers that much different than everybody else. So, I'm sorry, puppy. Hold on. Did I block your way? There you go. Sorry. The little puppy was whining. Hey, guys. How's it going? So yeah, basically this looks like a WeBox printer to me. Same style leveling system where it's 4 points on the top here. This is a perforated build plate. Now, I was never a big fan of the WeBox ones because unlike the Mega that's behind me, the WeBox has a very thin cut metal, and that's to save weight and just to be that much easier to work with. But the downside to that is it sticks. The adhesion level is too much at sometimes. So we are going to have to probably work with some profiles if we're going to change out to different resins and see what we can do to minimize that effect, because that was one of the issues I always had. Now, granted, that was before I started doing resin tuning and properly getting my resins tuned in. So we'll have to see about if that has changed at all, because it's been a while since I've used the 215. I'll be honest. So, what are you? You're right there. Losing your mind? The power supply is different than the WeBox one, so I will say. Hi, puppers. Hi. All right, go on, get. Okay, so let's get this fired up. And see if it's loud at all. Hopefully it's not loud, because that's one of the downfalls of the 215 is that it's very, very loud. So it is kind of loud. I can already tell there's something up with one of the fans. So we do have a similar startup where it actually, takes a while to start up. And we'll see if it's the same type of setup as the WeBox is. So on here, it just has 3D printer. So it is a little different view. I can tell already that this already has Wi-Fi built in it. This probably has onboard storage, just like the WeBox does. Yeah, so we'll have to play around with the Wi-Fi settings and everything. It has a similar UI setup to the Nova, so I wonder if it's an Android-based system, if that's the case. One thing I can already tell you I absolutely hate is that it only allows you 10 millimeters. All right, so this is very loud. But I can tell you right now, this is literally a WeBox printer. It sounds identical to my 215. Same setup. Yeah, so this has got to have some sort of Android because it's got a dev setup on it, a dev folder. So, jet engine loud or turbine loud? I'd say jet engine. It's not terrible, but it's noticeable. But here's the thing: you can probably easily swap those out for like some Noctuas or what is the other one? Not Winsun. I forgot the other name of the nice ones, but it's not terrible. It's livable. Okay, it's not like insanely quiet like my Mega, where you're not sure if it's printing or not, or even on. But one thing I'm going to suggest to them as a software update is they need to have a 50 millimeter lift on here because this 10 millimeter is not cutting it for this size. I'm sorry. So we have a piece of foam holding that down. We have a piece of paper holding that. Let's take a look at our vat. So it looks like this does have the option to have a auto refill system because I can see that there's already a cutout for it in the vat. And again, that just makes me know that this is a WeBox style printer. And I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the back. You see how there's a little cutout there? This is a lot better of a cutout than what they used to have, but yeah, it's definitely still the same. A little piece in there that I'm worried about. Same style FEP and VAT system as my WeBox 215. In fact, you know what? Let's do a comparison test, huh? Shall we? Since we got it out. I think this might be a little bit bigger. So same style. I think they're the same. Let's see here. Plop this bad boy in here. Yep. Same one. Same exact one. So that's good. And then I want to show you guys the build plate on the 215 as well. So this is the build plate that's on the 215, all right? So it's perforated. It's very, very thin metal. Now, it's really nice because it has drip areas on each corners where they kind of like just bent the metal into it. So let's take a look at this and see if it's the same. Ugh. Same build plates. So interchangeable with my WeBox 215. Same cutouts, same everything. So the only real big difference, I mean, besides the size compared to my 215, because like I said, the 215 sits out at about here because all the electronics are in the left-hand side and the printer itself is all right here. So it's made more or less for an industrial style setup. There is a slight difference in terms of like how this all set up is. Besides it having a 5K screen, like that one's got a 2K RGB screen. I think that prints at like 75 microns. So this one should print at around 50, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to take a look, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. Both good silent fan companies. Does it have standoffs so the FET doesn't lay on the table? I don't believe so. No. Oh, you know what? No, it does. So it's got standoffs on the sides. So you see how like there's a lip on each side here? Yeah, so it does keep it raised off of the table here. Okay, so we're going to do a light test here and just verify everything. If that's the right one. Oh, there we go. So that's a full light test. Same LED matrix that I can see. The only difference is they use bubbles. So like they use like convex lens. Convex? Convex. Concave. Yeah. Convex style lenses. So it's kind of like an LED matrix, but not as potent. So like the LED matrix that everybody knows about is like they're squared bubbles that are just kind of connected. And the issue is where they connect, there's dead spots. Whereas this is set lower inside the printer. So it's actually like right here at the printer level. Most of the LED matrix you see are like right up against the screen because there's not enough light that they utilize for it because it's a lower end LED matrix. Whereas this is actually a proprietary LED circuit board that's all soldered and everything working. And the only thing that they did is just upgrade the LEDs. Like on the 215, it's bare LEDs. That's all it is, as far as I remember. I'll have to boot that up and verify, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I know that's how it is for the 130. And I'm pretty sure they just use the same thing, just on a larger scale. But basically, this is all looking exactly the same. We have a raised screen here off of the actual, plate of where everything sits. So I want to see what is that? What is this? Oh, okay. So there's the image. So same image it displays as the WeBox does, where it has a square and a circle. And those squares should come out 20 millimeters and 10 millimeters. So if you did an XP test and you basically just did that test, when you took it off of the build plate, once it's done, it should measure 20 millimeters on the square and 10 millimeters round. So this is a dimensional accuracy just to verify that everything's working. So have you seen the Cobb style high intensity UV LEDs? Yeah, so the issue, that's what the Jupiter has. And the issue that I see is at the edges of the LCD, I see that the light source is not as predominant because the Cobb source is basically, it's a giant LED with a like magnifier, basically. It's a bubble magnifier or a convex lens, concave, whatever it is. I can never remember what is what. But anyway, it's basically a giant bulb that emits out the light, and they utilize like the lower end stuff. Like all the smaller lower end printers utilizes a tunnel to even out the light source, and it basically bounces off the edges of the tunnel. Well, the issue is on the edging of the screens, that light source is still there, but it's not as intense. And it's really hard to tell if that's true or not, but it is. If you were to measure the light source on the edging of a Cobb light source, I can guarantee you that it's at 80% density compared to the 100% density that's in the center of the screen. I guarantee it. So that's one of the issues that I see with the Cobb light source. It's a great idea, but the future of LED matrices and, well, I should just say LCD printers in general is what the Creality Hellet series, which is made by Pionext, that style setup is going to be the future of LCD printers. It's basically a DLP style setup for LED arrays, where you can have a small LED array bounce off of a mirror source, and that mirror source illuminates everything. So it's a much more even light source and a much more perfect light source because it's not a direct display from an LED. It's a reflection. Reflection? Again, however you want to say it. But basically, that's how it's done on the Hellet Sky. So it's an LED light source that points down here, and then there's a mirror that bounces that back onto the LCD, and it's perfect. And the exposure times make it like right on the money. Like there is no, oh well, maybe I'm in between like 2 seconds and 2.3 seconds, or I'm in between 2.0 and 2.1. No, it like you're usually spot on when I'm doing calibration tests on the Hellet Sky. It's amazing. And there's only one other printer out there. I mean, besides the Hellet series printers, there's one other printer that's coming out on the market that's going to utilize that technology, and that is the Frozen Sonic Mini 8K. It's going to be utilizing that same style technology. So I'm excited to see that because they've already shown results of how it prints, and it's just like it's perfect. There's no layering or anything like that. So yes, for me, the Hellet Sky calibration is like perfect. Take for example, I got some resin from, oh, who was it? I don't even have their bottle here anymore. But I had a bottle of resin that somebody sent me that was a bottle of white, and basically I threw it on a Hellet Sky, and I'm like, all right, let's see what we can test print. And I printed off some of these chess sets, these Pokemon chess sets. That's kind of hard to see because my light whitewashes it terribly. But anyway, I printed those off, and I was like, well, obviously we do a calibration test before we do any printing. And so I did that, and I'm like, let's go 2.2. And I printed it. It was perfect. It was on the money, spot on. There was not any ifs, ands, or buts about the XP tool. It was perfect. It was like, I'd never seen that ever before. And that was like the second time I've done that printing on the Hellet Sky. It was great. So in my opinion, at least the Hellet Sky is worth every penny just because of what it has in it. It has a far better board. It has a better light source, and it's more of a robust printer in general. And then to top it all off, it's got this style type of hood. I love this. I'm not a big fan of these where you have to take them off, set them down, then take your print off. Like, why can't I just pop it open and just do all my work and just close it? Why can't I do that? It's so much easier to deal with that. I'd rather have this type of setup than a pop top setup. It's so much better. Or even a door. Like, I'm fine with doors. Like, I've just moved away from the pop top style. Like, I understand on smaller printers, okay, it's kind of hard to utilize a setup like this. But for anything beyond a small printer, this should be the industry standard now is a lift off top or a swing top, whatever you want to call it. So your knowledge on resin printing is astounding. Well, considering I've had over 28 resin printers, well, probably like more than 30 at this point in time, I kind of know the ins and outs of like what makes a good printer to what makes an okay printer to what makes a garbage printer. And yeah, there's a reason why I don't have any Elegoo products here. So Is upgrading my LD006 to a Hellet Sky worth the upgrade? Absolutely 100%. Now, they basically are the same style machines, but what the Hellet Sky includes is far superior to any other resin printer in the medium market. The only one that would be close to it competition-wise would be this thing right here. This is the Nova 3D Whale. And this is an amazing printer for its printing dimensional accuracy. But since we're on the topic of the Hellet Sky, if this printer proves to be the same type of quality as my WeBox, for $700 on Amazon right now, it will be the most unbeatable printer for the size and price because of what you get with it. Now, like I said, there is the one downfall. The perforated build plate. I'm not a big fan of this one because of how thin it is. Like I said, the Mega is a lot better because it's a thicker build plate. But that's about the only downside that I see of it right now. Otherwise, everything is exactly how a WeBox printer is going to be. So I'm already digging the way that this is going right now. Now, again, if this is what I think it is, a WeBox printer, there should be no leveling required right out of the box. Now, we are going to take a look and see. I don't know if there was any calibration, or not calibration, a manual. There might be digital. But my WeBox, I probably leveled that once in the 2.5 years I printed. And that's only because I've scraped off so many layers with my my trusty scraper here that it just kind of needed a re-level. And then it also had a screen replacement. So obviously we're going to re-level with a screen replacement, FEP replacement. And I've only done that once. So 2.5 years of printing on an RGB screen, and I've only replaced the screen once. So that just tells you how tried and true that printer is in terms of, you know, what you get out of it. So yeah, I think we're all ready to go. Like I said, let's take a look in the box here. So we have some gloves, we have some tweezers, a scraper, some Allen keys. Probably not going to need any of that stuff. A handful of filters, and then a nice USB stick. Now, I usually replace my USB sticks with SanDisk ones. But these WeBox ones, if, again, this is a WeBox style, which it looks just like it, we'll probably use it for a little bit. This is only a 4 gigabyte, so it's not the end of the world. What's up, Matt? Sorry, I can't see your names if you're posting through Facebook, so give me a second and let me see. Oh, that's Ty. Okay. So for anybody that's on the Facebook page, if you look above on the post, there's a link that says facebook.com, /StreamYards. And if you click on that, it'll allow me to see your username. So facts. I hate the hood. I agree 100%. There's a lot of people that are with me on that. And it's just the fact that it just takes up a lot more room. The only one that I'm okay with having a hood with is my Anycubic wash and cure station. That's because, well, I mean, I guess they can utilize that same technology on a wash and cure station now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, there's really no need to have a pop off hood or a take off hood when you get to a medium-sized printer or bigger. So that's just my 2 cents. Nice. Is it hard to get perfect XP calibration on the first run? Absolutely. It's almost never happened to me. Let me think really hard about that. Yes. The Hellet Sky is the only one that I've literally said, okay, this is a good starting point. And boom, it was perfect on the first one. Perfect. Like, I have the pictures to prove it. Like, it was perfect. Everything else, I usually get it within 3. 5 for the Calent, which you guys can just barely see out of there. That's because I was running it with the idea of that it had a monochrome screen when in fact it didn't. So I was running at like 6 seconds at the top, and when it needed like 13 seconds. So yeah. Hellet Sky, lid of the Mega 8K style door. Yeah, exactly. Like doors and lift ups. That should be the standard. So I have to go. See you later. All right, Matt. Thanks for stopping in. The largest WeBox LCD uses the flexibility of a thin perforated build plate to reduce peel forces. In essence, it tilts as it lifts. Clever yet economical and easy implemented. That's one of the things, one of the things I absolutely love about my WeBox 130, the smaller resin printer, and it can be utilized with any resin printer. So the build plate is actually like this thick, and then there's a part that's this thick. And what it does is when it goes down, nothing ever goes over the build plate, ever. No resin will ever touch that build plate because it sits above the vat. And it's the greatest build plate design ever. And nobody else has ever utilized that. Everybody has like, oh, well, we'll angle the build plate so it drips off. Well, the problem is it still sits on the corners, or it'll sit on the lip. There's still a problem there. That WeBox, I can take that off and it'll be dry as a bone if I let it sit there for, 10 minutes. That's it. So, can you see my name now? Yes, Vincent, I can see your name. I wonder if that is similar here. So this literally has the same exact build plate as my WeBox 215. Same setup, same vat, same build plate. The only difference is the leveling system is a little bit better on this one because the set screws are raised on this one. It's a little bit harder to do it on the 215, but this one I can already tell, like, I can easily upgrade my 215 to match this. It's a simple just swapping out the screws, calling it a day. So this it's technically an 8-point leveling system that it's got. But yeah, it should be all right. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking your guys' ears off. I'm going to pop this thing in the in here, and I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let me move it over here and see what we can see. Let's go and share my screen. Share screen. I got too many printers here. All right. There you go, Ty. Now I can see your name. All right. So when we put in the USB drive, we have all the information here. So this uses a JKS file or JXS file, which I think the WeBox uses like a DLK file or something. It's been a while since I've utilized or looked at the file, but no such thing as too many printers. Yeah, no, that's that's wrong. I used to say that, but not anymore. All right, so basically here is the operations manual. Okay, where's our zoom in here? Let's see. So yeah, we got tweezers, power supply, power cable, blah, blah, blah. All right. Check if resin plate bottom. Yeah, we already checked that. Okay, we're good. Tighten the fixing screws or resin plate. Dust cover, platform, blah, blah, blah. Pour the photosensitive resin with gloves. I like that. It's kind of like droopy. That's good. Insert the USB for a test print. So should we do a test print, or should let's do a test print and then we'll look at all the information on here. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all this stuff over to my drive and then we'll take a look at it. So this should copy pretty quickly because we're putting it onto an SSD. Yeah, there you go. That's a little slow. All right. So we'll let that be. We're going to stop sharing our screen for a quick second. We're going to take this and just put it in here, and we're going to do a test print file and see what it is. I do have a file that they sent me that I saw them print off, and it looked awesome. It was like a dragon file, and they pre-sliced it and just sent me the file, and so I gotta get that. But that's one of the files I want to print because it just looked awesome. So, all right. So it does have the same setup as a WeBox. It just looks a little bit nicer. So maybe this is just like newer technology or an updated version of what I use. So, because it's got the same folder setup, SDA1, and then the net, which SDA1 should be, there we go. Okay, so we're going to click OK. All right, so we don't have any time frames. All right, so they did send us some resin, so let's put this stuff in here and see how it is. Kind of jankily pack this. So this one actually shows ingredients on it. Please wear gloves before use to avoid direct contact. In case of accidental skin contact, please rinse with plenty of water. Prohibit oral, yeah, because it does not taste very well. UV resin may cause allergic reactions. So that's one of the reasons why they say like it's irritant, is because more or less people have reactions to this stuff out of anything. So we have gray. Okay, so yeah. Shake well before use. I'd use my my drill, but it's not hooked up. I was using it for something else really quick. So now that if I'm not mistaken, I know who makes this resin, and there should be another insert in here. Oh, no, this is a little different, so it's not made by the same people. I was wrong. Usually there's a plastic insert in there. Well, it might still be made by the same company. Kind of a lighter gray color. So again, we don't really have a fill line in here per se. It's kind of like on the front here. So the difference with these vats is they have steps. So you have like your base step, then you have a step up, and you can basically put in a liter of resin in here and be okay. One thing I always like doing is like with the smaller bottles, because there's a lip here on the build plate, you could just kind of set your bottle of resin in there and just let it drip through the drip holes and get every little ounce of resin out of your bottle. So this is basically what it looks like when we have 500 grams of resin. So it says acrylic, I'm going to butcher this name, oligomer and initiator, etc. So it kind of shows it. Suggested use temperature, 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. This only has a 6-month shelf life, supposedly, which is very strange because usually it's a year. So I wonder if this is higher end resin, actually. We'll have to see. Anyway, let's go ahead and hit our print. Hit OK. Copying file to system. Validating file. So it looks like this is going to be a 5 and almost a 6-hour print. It's like 5 hours and 50 minutes. So we're going to let this run. I'm going to go see a movie in a little bit. So hopefully by the time I get out and everything's done, it'll be close to being finished. So we'll take a look at it. First thing I wanted to do is butt this up against here so it's a little more rigid. There we go. That way we're not jiggling around too much. We might add some more resin in there just to be on the safe side. Usually it's a year, So I guess the polymer is higher grade. Halloween. My son is a big Halloween fan. I'm a big Halloween fan. And since I had the day off, I was like, hey, let's go and see Halloween because it's opening day today, I think. And yeah, we're just both big Halloween fans. I don't care how terrible a movie is. I'm always a big fan, regardless. It's always good to see different iterations of the movies. Some are very, very bad, yes, but in general, the concept is still there. So, but I like the new movie that they had. What, 2 or 3 years ago it was. We went and saw that in theaters, and it was great. And yeah, I plan on seeing this. So I will say that it does seem a lot slower than my 215. So we might have to mess around with like the G code in here. One thing I wanted to say is this, for all those people who are like, oh my God, this printer is locked down to Shitu box. This one is not. And I'll show you exactly why. We'll go back to the computer here. So we'll let that test print go. Again, I'll probably add some resin before I leave, just to make sure that it's all good. But I'm going to share my screen again with you guys so we can go back into this folder and we can see what's going on with this, because this utilizes a completely different slicer. So let's see. Here we go. Now, some of you guys may or may not know what the slicer is. I know already what it is. Looks kind of familiar, huh? Anybody use this type of slicer? It's fancy. They got a nice little background here and everything. They have profile set up at 2 millimeters. Jesus. We definitely don't need 2 millimeters. 5 millimeters is good enough. But if you guys wanted to know, it prints at 2 mil. Or, yeah, this is the layer height. So you have 2, 5, and 1. So either one you can utilize. But, yeah, anybody know what the slicer looks like? I'll give you a hint. If it'll open up. There we go. Oh, wow. That looks very similar. Oh, that's because it's the same. So just like my WeBox, so here's the WeBox one, okay? Here's WeBox slicer. Now, again, this is a much older slicer. And actually, since we're at this, why don't we see if it... So it might actually have the same output. So I wonder if I can utilize that. So let's see. Let's just put a print in here. We're just going to put a basic print in here because I want to see what it slices at. I don't remember what file name it sliced at. I thought it was something else. Why can't I see everything? Why is it looking for that type of file? Oh, because I'm using a different one. Never mind. All right, so let's just do this. Okay, the octopus. Yes, I have the print from the Nova. This is one of the Nova's test prints, which is quite ridiculous to show off how insane the printer's dimensional accuracy can be, because it actually prints all these little chains and everything. So anyway, let's go ahead and slice this really quick and see what the WeBox outputs it at. This is going to be kind of slow. I didn't want support, so that's why okay. So we're going to export it. Yeah, so it does a DJS, so it is a different slice file. So it's not the same as the WeBox. It does have a different output system. This outputs is JKS, I think it was. So let's see. Yeah, let's see what the test file is. Whoa. What is this? What is that? Oh, no way. This is the one that I was going to ask him about. Ah, sweet. This is an awesome file. So it's like a wolf pirate captain looking guy. I saw this on their site today and I was like, oh, I wanted to get that. but now I don't have to because this is their test file. So that's awesome. That is awesome. So cool. So one of the things I will say that is great about these slicers, the Prusa style slicers, is their support settings are usually amazing, untouchable by anybody else. So what's up, Maker Viking? That wallpaper, thank you. Yes, Kuma is my favorite. So yeah, the output file on this is .jks, right? It was. Let's see what the output file is. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, so that's an STL file, actually. Oh, that's right. So I forgot to tell you guys, that's one of the other cool things about these style printers is they have the ability to slice STLs right on the printer. So as long as you got it all set up, let's say you got a model that's pre-supported and somebody's like, yeah, dude, you should go and check this out. Here's the file. And then you're sitting there, you're like, well, I need a slicer. No, you don't. You just throw the file right on there and it'll slice it for you. That's one of the cool things about these. So let's go ahead and just slice this up and see how it goes. I probably should have disabled supports, but whatever. Again, we're a little bit slow. That's about the only downside to these slicers is they're a little slow, especially if you have supports enabled, which I probably shouldn't. So here, let's go ahead and just cancel this. Let's go and put no supports, none there. And that way, maybe it'll slice a little bit faster. Although I probably messed with it now, and now it's going to, have an issue. All right. So there we go. 5 hours and 48 minutes. So this is actual time. Oh, so it does export as DJS or .jxs. So I wonder if I can use this for my WeBox printers because this is obviously a newer software update because I'm sure it's got all the other stuff. We'll find out here. Support on build plate, a round object. Yep, this has got the newer stuff. So my WeBox don't have this ability. It doesn't have the round object. So, yeah. And then we got the cut ability. We got hollow and drill. So it's basically got everything that Prusa Slicer has. It's a modified version. So in Prusa Slicer, or whatever this is called, Juxin additive, this is where you would put all your information for your different hollowing settings and everything, your supports, your price ranging for your resins, any type of notes for your resins, and then all your profiles that you would set up for them. Printer settings, so we can go ahead and set our printer up to utilize, either this printer or the WeBox printers because they use the same thing. But basically, this is where we would do all of our support settings, hollowing, pads, output. So yeah, JXS. So it should have the ability to utilize DJS. Cool. That's awesome. That's great to know. Let's see. Where's the material? So yeah, we would put in our exposure time at 3.5, 30, and that's pretty much it. Everything else you don't really need to mess with because the printer itself does everything else. So tilt time. Yeah, so you could basically set everything up about the printer itself on lifting times, scaling correction. So it's got a 0.2 scaling correction on it. So this specifically is where your dimensional accuracy stuff is going to come from. It's not just all in the printer. It is in some of the settings. So, but that's very hard to find out on most printers. It takes a while. But yeah, you can go ahead and change anything you want in here. Search function, multiple plate. So one of the cool things, let's see if this has got it. I have to find one that has multiple pieces on it. 3D objects. Let's go. There we go. So here, there's two pieces here. Let's say I just want to print one of these. This should have, this is new. Oh, where is that? Oh, maybe it doesn't have this ability. Maybe that's one of the things that they don't have. Nope. So on Prusa, I know there's a way to cut these, basically. Like, what I mean by cut is it'll automatically separate these without having to utilize this setting. Unless they moved it. Because it's been a while since I've used Prusa Slicer. But there used to be a way where you just click on here and you can just automatically, it'll separate all the models for you automatically. Like, it'll find everything. So I guess they stopped doing that. But anyway, we'll let that all go. But that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to let this print, like I said. I'll probably add some more resin here just to be on the safe side. But look, I love that. Lift top. It's great. So much better. Such an easier thing. Andrew S. Please don't tell me. Is that Andrew Sink? Please don't tell me that. Because I'm going to feel real dumb. For not realizing who that was. I don't think so, but we're going to... Whew, this is a little smelly. Not terrible, but I can definitely notice the smell. No, I'm the original Andrew S. No, I was just wondering because if you were, I bought that, and that's a product of Uncle Jesse and I believe it's Andrew Sink, if I'm not mistaken. So, what's up, David? Yeah, I'm gonna have to jet here in about 10 minutes, so I'm gonna cut the stream in a little bit here. But I thank you guys for stopping around and checking out the new printer. All right, so there, we got a liter in there. I got it from Micro Center. Oddly enough, I got it for like a steal. They had these chairs set up, and they were getting ready to move into their brand of chairs. What is it? Inland. And so basically, I was there at the right time, and they had all these on display. never used. I checked it and I'm like, hey, has anybody ever sat in this? He's like, no, all these chairs that are in this section, we just brought out from the showroom floor. We were going to have them set up as display units, but we're switching over. And I was like, all right, cool. How much is it? And they're like, oh, it's like $140. Now, this at the time, well, it might still be. This is the big AK Racing one. And I think it was like $300 for it. And I was like, I'm taking it. So I got it in my car. I don't know how, but I got it in my car and I took it home because I couldn't pass up that deal. I was there at the right time. So, but yeah, it's a nice chair. I know a lot of people are like, your back's going to hurt when, you sit in this chair because it's a gamer's chair. It's not made to be comfortable. And I'll be honest, most of the time I'm not here to sit in the chair for long periods of time. I'm usually moving around or I'm like not even sitting in the chair. Like as long as the butt part works, we're good. That's really about it. And the armrest, which they've been good so far. The only thing I've had to replace twice on this, the original wheels were garbage, so I upgraded them to like the rollerblade style wheels, and I've had those on this one for about a year and a half now, and just now they failed last week, so I had to go out and buy new ones because I was like rolling around here. I'm like, what are all these little silver BBs that are around? I'm like, what did my daughter get into? Because she plays down here all the time. And I'm like, what did she get into? And then I realized, oh, it was my wheel. And then I go to work. My wife goes to sit down on my chair and the wheel just busted off of it. And she's like, yeah, I broke your chair. And I'm like, yeah, I already knew it was on the way out. I was going to buy new wheels anyway. So I bought them. They were delivered that night and I replaced them. So now we're all good. We're back in business. So was played this on YouTube's for ages. Andrew South. That's right. Like your chair. I'm going to have a lot of questions later after your movie. Yeah, absolutely. Ask away. So if you guys are interested in looking into this printer, there is a link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. Right now on Amazon, they are going for $699. And I believe they have options which are, they come with a bottle of resin. So, yeah. But that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to let you guys all go because I hear the family coming in here. Again, I thank you guys all for stopping in there. If you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit up Akuma Mods on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you guys like the video. And yeah, pretty much until next time, happy printing.